Okay, hi everyone. This is Sagar Shah, and welcome to day 4 of Improve Your Chess with Sagar. I hope you have been having a good time working with me in the last 3 days, and I see that clearly in all of you. Everyone is really working hard. Uh, I am receiving a lot of emails with a lot of interesting stuff with people who are trying to work hard, and this is a great feeling for me. So, all of you who are here, try to give your best, try to do the homework, try to work on whatever we are doing here because it's going to help you. I'll be discussing all that you have sent me on the email in this class, and also a lot of interesting material. But like always, it's time for a little bit of warm up, like we always do. And before we begin, one thing which I have never done is ask you where you are from. There are so many people who are joining in. I've always asked which countries, and people have said, but also different parts of India. So if you could just write in the chat, where are you from, your name and the place where you are from, that would be wonderful, so that people know that you're like in a global class together. Okay. Shivam Chaudhary said, "I'm looking handsome today." Okay, seems like the lockdown. The good thing is that you eat less. Yeah, like we have limited supply, so I'm losing weight. Okay, Shrivardhan Ram says Chennai. Mohak Agarwala says USA. Kapil Lakhwani Gwalior. Anjanaya Kakar Hong Kong. Nice. Sanjit Basu Kolkata. Jinil George Kerala. Ravi Jain is not mentioned his place. Swayam Ubale Nashik. Jaideep Sifai Bangalore. Wow, you can see, I mean, no city is even repeating. Jayant Rao Delhi. Aditya Ramnathan Mumbai. Harsh Jani Mumbai. Sushil Mishra from MP, Krishna Kumar Bagel from Aligarh, UP. Wow. Silpi Banerjee, West Bengal. Swami Palik, Telangana. Debi Prasad Nayak, Odisha. Bidyut Bora, Gurgaon. Then we have Shivam and Shobhit from UP, Prakhar Gupta from MP, Itahon Idahosa from USA, but he was born in Africa, he says, okay. Sporty Nagaram from Chennai. Sporty Nagaram, yesterday you reminded me I was 3 minutes late. Hope I'm on time today. Ravi Jain from Gujarat, Atul Tripathi from Nagpur. Fantastic, fantastic. We also have Gautam Bala, Trichy, Saurabh Podar, Pune, Virinchi Vadali, Hyderabad, Ashwin Subramaniam, who's a very good friend of mine from Bangalore, and he says a traffic-free Bangalore. Okay, wonderful. That's not going to last once everything begins normally. Goldie Arora, Punjab, Dimitris Lizunkov, Russia. Okay, fantastic. Tharun M, Karnataka, and the list goes on. We have Yasanta Jayavira from Sri Lanka, Vedansh Sharma, Punjab. So you can see that this is really a sort of a global classroom that we have here, people from different places, and it's a great feeling. I have a big list, maybe if I keep reading it, we might reach 10 a.m. and we won't be able to learn anything. But I will read all of these. By the way, I go back and then after the class ends, I try to read everything. Uh, so, so shall we begin? Let's solve a tactic first. A few tactics so that we warm up and then we are ready for the tough class. It's black to move here. What do you do? Not a tough one. Maybe I still look. You all are writing down the name of the places, and it seems like all the states of India are nearly covered. Fantastic. So this is the position. Black to move. What do you do? Ah, okay, I have to turn down. Yeah, knight d3. Knight d6, guys, come on. Do I have to remind you about the notation? Yeah, this is extremely important to learn your notation. I'm going to remind you once again. Please work on it. Okay, it might seem useless. For example, I received a lot of mails from people saying, "Hey, I don't know the notations. I want to improve at chess. How should I improve?" And then they feel like I'll suggest something which is earth shattering. I'll say, um, study games of Vishy Anand or study games of Kasparov. But then I tell them, work on your notation. And they feel like, come on, this is not how chess improvement happens. You don't learn notation to get better at chess. And this is what the misconception I want to clarify and clear here, that without notation, without a solid base, you can never improve. So this is knight e3, and by notations I want to reiterate, you need to know each and every square on the tip of your tongue. So f7 is here, g2, c2, b7, e8, c8, d1, c1, f5. You should know that really well. Okay, if you can't do it at the same speed as me, you have to work. All right, so knight e3, is that the only move, or is there something else to consider? Like, can white somehow move this rook, give a discovered attack? Maybe not. Okay, maybe that doesn't work, but still I would like you to think about it. Don't rush. When you rush, you don't consider your opponent's possibilities and you can make a mistake. Okay, so I was just thinking that if I play knight e3, if black moves the queen somewhere, I think he should move the queen in a way that he defends the bishop on c4, because if he doesn't do that, I can simply win a piece. So knight e3, mm, maybe queen d3. Okay, and now if I take knight into d1, then he can give me some kind of a discovered attack, like for example rook into c7. Okay, just trying to analyze with you, because now the queen is attacked. So in my mind I was thinking, what if I, instead of taking the rook on e3, on d1, I'd play knight e3, queen d3, knight into c4, queen into c4, and then rook f8. And you see there is another pin. Now I'm threatening to win an entire rook. Okay, and then you say, okay, but he can simply defend the rook with rook f1, and I increase another attack on the rook with bishop e8. Okay, and so this is how I'm trying to analyze. I'm trying to analyze a bit deep here. I'm trying to look at the possibilities, but of course it may not be required. For example, 93 might well be the right move, but just to show you, many of you ask, how should I improve at chess? How should I become better? Well, the key is to think more, to calculate more. Okay, so this is what I really want you guys to be doing. Maybe what I analyzed right now was not required. It seemed okay. Like for example, queen d3. I was looking at knight c4 takes, and then there is this pin here. So let's try to take advantage of it. Uh, maybe I'm just wrong somewhere, because if I take here, there is rook d8, but then I have queen g4. Yeah, so this I'm rook up. uh, if you go rook f1, I was thinking of bishop e8. Now you cannot move the rook because the queen is hanging, but maybe there is rook into c7 in this position, or not really. No, I don't think you can play rook c7, because I have rook takes c7. Because if I played queen takes, okay, even this is winning, and I take. So just trying to analyze a bit more can help you, because knight d1 is definitely possible, but then he may have some kind of a deadly attack like rook c7, but it's not deadly in any way. Even mm, I can consider something like moving the queen. I was thinking of knight f2. Anyway, okay, so let's do one more position. Okay, this is very easy. I'm not even going to ask you guys. Fork. Let's go to the next one. Checkmate. Yeah, okay, that's good. Some difficulty now. White to move. You see, I see the rating here on the right hand side, and based on that, I know how tough the puzzle is or the problem is. So, white to move. Okay, Funny Verma says Fisher versus Saidi game where knight power to bishop is shown is a favorite game of Carlsen as well. Okay. Yeah, this one. Let's see who gets. Satvik says, when you analyze little deeply, I get confused and lost how to prevent that. Well, Satvik, whenever you do something complex or new, you will get confused. The point is to start analyzing deeply with candidate moves. And yes, chess is not easy, so the top players also get confused all the time, but they try to do better each and every time. So, this is important. Okay, here what should we do? Queen c7. Now we have a lot of answers. Queen takes c7, but as I mentioned before, I'm not going to take one move answers. All those who are going to give me just one move, wrong. Yeah, give me black's move to your move, then your move. Give me a variation. Okay, I have one variation by Amay Kanetkar who says Queen c7, King a8, Queen into e7. But do you realize that you are already materially down? You know, you are right now a rook down. So even if you win a bishop, it may not be enough. So anyone else who is. Arun says, greetings. I'm just tuning in from California. Welcome. Arun, I don't see any variations here. That's the problem. Everyone just says Queen c7, King a8, take on e7. But what if I take b takes c6 then? So Aditya Ramanathan says Bishop a6, Rook a6, Queen b7. And here's a thought for all of you. When you play Bishop a6, do you consider your opponent to be your friend or your enemy? If you think he is your friend, yes, you will take with the rook. But if he is not, enemy may be a bit too much. But if he is not your friend, then basically he's not going to take that piece. He's not going to just take it, he'll defend it somehow. So you need to find defenses for your opponent. So I'm still in search with some good lines that are being given here. Um, so okay, I'm thinking right now bishop a6 seems like interesting, but then queen c8 possible move. Bishop b7, rook b7, cb7, queen b7 doesn't look great. Yeah, so queen c8. What do you do? I guess bishop a6, queen c8 looks quite okay. Bishop e3 says Prakhar, but bishop e3 you just lose the queen. Here this is hanging. No, but bishop e3, if cb6, you're losing your queen. This is what many people are saying. Bishop e3 doesn't work. Yeah. How about bishop? Yeah, not simple. Bishop c7, king 8, cb7, rook b7, queen a6. No, but then rook a7 still exists. So that doesn't win. Well, I haven't really got a. If someone has got the answer here, very surely, please let me know. Very difficult to know. I think queen c7, king a8, queen e7 might be the option we have to land up to. But then after b takes c6, I'm not very happy. Okay, if bishop c7, king a8, again, I'm not really able to find a follow up there. So I don't want his queen to come here in defense. That's the problem. Queen c7, king a8, bishop a6. But then you can just take the bishop. Yeah, not easy, not easy. Let's try something. Bishop a6, queen c8. Should be something there. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so let me take this. This looked like possibility, and now okay, this is right. But how do you continue next? Do you play? Well, one possibility is for a slow sort of. I want to include this bishop. So my threat is cb7. If rook b7, queen a6, rook a7 is coming. But then if I had a bishop which could checkmate, like say if I had a bishop on b5, then bishop c6 would be checkmate. So can I do something like bishop b5 here? The point being that you really cannot play bishop e8 because cb, rook b7, queen a6, rook a7, queen c8 is a mate. So you can't block it that way. If you come queen c8, then I take cb. Oops, I didn't want to make that move, but anyway, bishop b5 I think is a good move. And that was the bishop c5, cb, rook b7, queen a6, bishop a7, bishop c6. Now you see there's a pin, so queen c8 is the only move, it seems. And now how do I make progress? Bishop b6, queen b8. Yeah, and then bishop a7, queen a7, bishop b7, king b8. Okay, maybe I get into an end game with a pawn up or something like that, because then I go queen a7, king a7, bishop c8, and pick up all these pawns. Looks like a winning bishop endgame. Maybe it wants to teach us that. Okay, so take. This is not the strongest. Well, if this is not the strongest move, then you must take this bishop. No, what else? b6. Okay, bishop b6 seems okay. Yeah, this was solved. By the way, the variation which I was looking at was take, take, check. Now has to play bishop a7, because if rook a7, bishop c6 is mate. So here, now go bishop. What a blunder! Yeah, I blundered this mate. Okay, I need to wake up, guys. So this was a good wake up call, but if you look at it, it was not at all easy. The point was all of you jumped at queen into c7, king a8, queen into e7, and you thought, wow, this is great. But truth be told, this is not so amazing, because I just go b into c6, and I don't see it as winning in any way. White is fighting, and sorry, black is fighting here. So by the theory of elimination, even bishop a6 is very quick. You can consider, okay, take mate. But if you look one move ahead, you will always see the defense for your opponent. And this is very, very important. You need to look at the defense for your opponent. Queen c8. And now I know that it looks, he can't take, he's threatening to take now. I can't do much. If I take bishop b7, he takes, and I'm just a piece down. So that's the reason why you, and now comes the important part of chess, which is basically having the willpower. As I mentioned to you the other day, if you're not getting the answer, it's very easy to give up, throw your hands up in the air and say, I'm not getting the answer. But if you take here, take here, and are alert that, hey, look, cp7, rook b7, queen a6, this is not a mate, but look, if my bishop was here, I could deliver a mate. So that's how you come to this next move, bishop b5, which is not at all easy. It's very tough, but I think, and then now you need to again start looking at defenses. So queen b7 was one, and the queen c8. Now queen b7 means bishop c6, and if rook b7, then already it's game over. So that is how you are going to calculate such positions. Okay, it's not going to be easy, but you have to do it, and this was a very good position for us to discuss calculation. I hope that you enjoyed it. Okay, now let's try to get to action for today. One of the things which I wanted to show you is, yeah, here I have a lot of people who wrote to me. So if you look here, this is my database. I had Ram Sumed Ramteke who wrote to me, Rick Gupta who analyzed Fisher Taimanov. Then there is Amay Kanitkar who sent one of his games. There is Setu who sent some one of his own games. Then Suman Chakrabarti who analyzed Fisher Taimanov, and I had Shivant who sent one of his games. So a lot of people are doing the work that I'm suggesting, and if you also are doing the homework, please send it to me at chessbaseindia@gmail.com. This is how we are going to work together to improve. So the first thing that we are going to look at is now Fisher Taimano, because that was the homework, and I want you to learn the art of analyzing things on your own. Okay, this is a very important art, and I'm going to talk about it now. So let me first pick up the game, and let me change my view, because this is a much better view. Yeah, you have to agree. uh, and let me get the game here. So a lot of people said, Itohan said, I'm doing the work but email won't send. Okay, fine. If you are doing the work, great. No need to send email. But if you would like to, then please send it to chessbaseindia@gmail.com. Okay. Now, the game of Fisher Taimano is a classic, okay, all-time classic, and it shows bishop versus knight in full glory, where the bishop is the better piece. And what happened in this game? We are going to just have a look at it. Bishop c5, bishop f4. This is a good move. The point is, if you take. Now, very interesting variation would be bishop c3, b takes c3. Okay, and let's try to look at a few of the imbalances here in this position and try to understand who is better. So I want someone to write in the chat who is better here in this position, white or black, and what are the imbalances. Instead of saying better, let's talk about imbalances. You know the 8 points, yeah? Uh, I'm just going to bring them up on the screen so we can look at it. These are the imbalances: superior minor piece, pawn structure, space, material, control of an open file or a weak square, lead in development, initiative, king safety. Okay, 8 points. Try to put it in your head. Okay, and let's go now back to the position and try to assess them on these factors. Okay, the first one, I see people have already given some answers. Funny Verma says bishop is locked here. Okay, that's interesting. He says bishop on c8 is locked. You are right. Stehen Mohak Agarwal says bishop pair. Mohini Bhave, Agastya Day. All of you say bishop pair. Very good. You guys are noticing things quickly. Bishop pair is always an advantage. Let me see if I can find something more. Akshit Bhatia says white has bishop pair and space. Nice. Vishal Kumar says pawn structure is bad for white. Very good. Uh, David Brick says double bishop. Yes. Sagar Ghule says white is better, okay, because of bishop pair, but some kind of disadvantage with double pawns. You see, this is how chess is. It's not going to be like, hey, the pawn is here and you have bishop pair. Then it's like, yes, you have the advantage for sure, double bishops. But pawns are bad, and this is also in life. You work a lot, okay, you go to office, you work a lot, you make a lot of money, but when you work a lot you compromise your health. So one rise in one imbalance leads to a fall in other imbalance. That's why you say you have to balance everything in life. Same on the chessboard. You got the bishop pair, but the opponent actually gave up his bishop just to spoil the structure. Okay. Now, no one has, yes, white has lead in development. Hariom Patel, well done. This is another thing. So after the minor pieces we came to the other things, which is pawn structure, in which we have come to the conclusion that white's pawn structure is slightly worse because of these double pawns here, while black structure is nice. Then we go to material, which is equal. Space, white has more, so you came to that. No one has actually mentioned about the open file. Have you? No one has mentioned about the open file and weak squares. Maybe someone has, but I just missed it. uh, there are many open files in the position. White has a semi-open B file and a semi-open D file. Black has a semi-open C file. Okay, but I would say white having two open files for his two rooks is a big advantage. Yes. And then we come to development, where white has castled, his rook is ready to come in, his other rook is ready to come in. So that means he has the development advantage, and in a way he also has a lead. He has the initiative on his side because he's threatening moves like e5 and threaten black. Okay, first of all, a big thanks to Funny Verma, who's the first contributor for today. Thank you so much for contributing 200 rupees. As I have mentioned previously, you can contribute here if you like. I'm still trying to find out the best way to contribute for the uh, coronavirus, daily wage workers. I was trying to look at it. There was an organization called Feeding India. There's also a prime minister's fund, chief minister's fund. So I'm looking at it, and I'm going to try and put all the money that I receive here over there. So it's going to a good cause. You can contribute, and also it feels nice that you are enjoying the class and you are contributing. Okay, so I have Aditya Ramanathan, who has written a very nice paragraph, who says white has lead in development, equal material, black's pawn structure is better, white has the bishop pair, white has more space, initiative is relatively equal. No, I wouldn't say initiative is equal. Initiative, what is initiative? Initiative is nothing but the ability to create threats. And I think that black cannot create any threats in this position. It's white. White is going to play rook b1, create a threat here. White is going to play e5, create a threat on the knight. White is the one with the initiative for sure here. And white has more open files. Very good, Aditya, and he gives an evaluation of plus equal, and I agree with him. I think this is very good, and I'm sure that many of you also did this. I think Kavyansh has also written here, but yes, it's a bit difficult to type down everything, but if you do that, would be wonderful. At least in your mind you need to have all these imbalances while you are playing. Okay, I think white is better. If anyone disagrees with me, you may feel like these pawns don't look good, but hey, a double pawn gives you an open file. Imagine the pawn was here, there's no open file. I would really love my rook to come and sit here and keep pressing this pawn. And look at this bishop. It's really bad. Okay. Also, one last thing is the dark squares are slightly weak in the position. And this bishop becomes a monster piece. Plus equal, yes. So coming back, and now this is what I mean by analysis. What is analysis? It's nothing but curiosity. If you have the curiosity that, why can't black just take this piece, then white will take, black will take, and then you analyze, you are doing nothing but analysis. And remember this, that analyzing your games is an art, and this art can only be done if you are curious, if you have the inquisitiveness. Why not this move? Why can't I play this move? Why can't my opponent make this move? Only then. Okay, I remember in 2012, when I was around 2300. Okay, and but I was, at every level you reach, you're kind of lost. So right now, if you are at 1200, 1000, unrated, 1400, 1800, whatever is your level, you might feel you are lost at that level. But when you improve, let's say when you go to 2000 at some point, you will be lost at that level, thinking, how do I go to now 2200? When you reach 2200, you will be lost saying, how do I reach 2400? Now, when you are at 2400, you will be lost. How do I become a GM, then a super GM? And believe me, even 2700 players are often lost as to how to become a top 10 player in the world. And a top 10 player in the world is often lost to think, how can I become a world champion? And Magnus Carlsen, I think, is lost in a way saying, how can I improve further? He's also working on that. So that is the reason why he's always playing very well. So in chess, there's never going to be a period where you can say, okay, I am happy now, I know everything. It's not going to happen. So believe me, and try to not be in this perpetual state of unhappiness where you say, I cannot improve, what should I do, please help me, please do this. I was in that state, and this is my story where I went to national team championship and I met Shashi Kiran. You know Shashi Kiran very well, Indian GM, and he was rated 2700 2702 at that point. And I was playing in the same event. He was playing for PSPB, I was playing for my own team, Chess is Life, I think, at that point. And after the tournament ended, I went to take his autograph, and I asked him, how do I improve? I'm around 2300. And he told me, analyze your own games. Okay, and this was the only thing he wrote. Actually, in his autograph, he signed and wrote, analyze your own games. And my question to him was, how should I analyze my games? And he said, you should spend around 4 to 5 hours on your games. You should look at it very carefully. And I tried doing it, but the main problem was, I didn't understand if I was analyzing it right. And I have got this question. I have got this question from many who say, sir, you told me that you should analyze your game, but I don't know if I'm analyzing it right or not. Should I use engine? Should I not use engine? And I want to clarify this thing, that when you analyze your own games, it is not about how well you analyze. Okay, the quality of the analysis, I think, comes secondary. First thing is, how are you analyzing, in the sense, in what way? So I want you to learn the art of analyzing. Your variations could be bad. For example, here, if it's black to move, you should think, my bishop is kind of passive, I need to activate it. How can I do it? Can I do b6? But then he goes e5. Then I go knight d5. C4, rook is hanging. But no, he takes here. Bishop 8, knight 8. Okay, black looks okay, equal. And you mark it as equal, or maybe equal plus or minus plus, black is better. So then you say, okay, what if I take this knight here? Yes, I know it's opposite colored bishops, but I win a pawn here. Okay, by the way, I wanted to make the move b5, not b6, because that's how. B5 here, knight d5. Now even c4 is not possible, so you take, and you come to this position and you think, who's better here? Is white better? Is black better? What's happening? And my suggestion, even I don't know what is happening. Did I consider good moves? Did I consider bad moves? But what I did was, I thought of variations, I wrote them down, and then at the end of every variation, I must assess the position. Now what do I feel? hmm I feel like in this position, if black could castle here, he would be doing well. So can I stop him from castling? Yes, I can play bishop d6. And my bishop stands much better than his bishop here. And if he goes bishop b7, I may try to, play rook d1, try to put my rook on d3, and maybe I could say this is, maybe it's equal, but I can say equal or plus equal and give that evaluation. So your game analysis is nothing but inquisitiveness of the possibilities. Don't worry if your variations are right or wrong right now. Just dive into it. Analyze for some variation or the other, and at the end of every line, evaluate. Okay? Don't try to just say, okay, I did like b5, e5, knight d5, take, rook d1. Okay, ho gaya. This, let's go to the next line. What is happening here? Castle is possible. E5, knight d5, c4, or bd6, rook e8. You just analyzing, that's not right. You must give an evaluation. What does an evaluation mean? Is what are your thoughts about that position? Who do you think is better? If you are able to do this, you will slowly and steadily start becoming more accurate in your analysis. Okay. Now, I didn't check a lot of the comments. Namita Chede says, if we analyze, what do we learn from that? Very good question, because I think it's very important to ask the question why. I have a book here which says always start with why, which means that why are you doing something? How does game analysis help you? Well, the reason game analysis helps is because when you analyze your own games, you are able to find what is the mistake you are making again and again. And you may not find it immediately, it may take time. But once you do that, you get the flaw in your play, then you work on it, and then you improve. Then you again analyze your game, you find your flaws, you improve. This is what is required. Okay. Now, Setu Minocha has contributed 100 rupees saying, thank you, Sagar sir, for doing this. Really appreciate your efforts. Thank you so much, Setu. Sakti Kiran has said, mistakes increase your experience, but experience decrease your mistakes. Simple as that. Think about it. Okay, interesting. Nice one. Okay, so let's go back to this position and see d6 was played because black didn't want to land up in that position. Queen d2, and now you black played the move h6. And is there anyone who can tell me why h6? What is the point of this move? H6, this is such a horrible move. I mean, you can play bd7, develop a piece, you can castle. Why did he play h6. Creative master Shikhar said how to analyze the game. It's like he didn't listen to all that I said right now. Yes, Itohan says bishop cannot come to g5. This is the point. Mohak says black wants to go g5 after h6. No, I don't think he wants to play g5. But the idea is to prevent bishop g5. But why will he play bishop g5? Akshit Bhatia gives a very good reason, because after e5, bishop can't come on g5. Shashank Kapoor says prophylaxis. Very good. What is prophylaxis? Nothing but preventing opponent's ideas. So I'll give you a sample line. For example, you castle. Okay. Now, if there is a possibility that I can play knight a4 here, but okay, let me get first my rook into the game. Now the rook is actually attacking this pawn here. Now black would really want to play e5, but the problem is after e5, white goes bishop g5, and white says I'm going to take this and I'm going to put my knight on d5 square, where it will be very strong. So black goes one move in advance and says I want to go e5, but my opponent is going to g5, so I'll stop it. This is how prophylaxis work. You first think of the most natural move, which is castling. Then you think what opponent will do. Oh my god, this is a problem. So let me stop the problem with h6. Okay. Now rook a d1, e5, bishop e3, bishop g4 was played, bishop c5. Taking the rook doesn't make any sense because you go bd6 and rook d1. So quit dc5, f3, bishop e6, f4, and we come to the interesting part of the game where we have the bishop versus knight. Okay, and this is where we are going to understand which piece is better. Okay, so black first of all has a big problem here. Black has a problem that his king is still in the center, so he decides to close the position. Okay, this is a fine move. Fischer plays rook f e1, and then after rook takes d5, of course he could have saved the pawn with c4 here, but it would mean that after castles rook f e1, rook f e8, the position remains closed, and a closed position is very very beneficial for a bishop. Okay, I hope all of you are listening to me. A closed position is very beneficial for the bishop. Please let me know if you agree to it in the comment section. So white should have done this because the closed position would have benefited him. Well, David Brick is telling me Venkatesh versus Gahan Czech Open. I should have a look. Okay, David, we'll have a look at it at some point. Itohan says bishop. Sir, in closed positions, knights are better, says Anjaneya. I have always maintained that in the class, everyone should remain awake. No one should go to sleep. And that's why I always keep asking closed positions better for bishop, open positions good for knights, and then everyone is like yes yes yes. But here I see everyone says no 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 no, and I'm very happy everyone is awake. And the point is, in closed positions knights are always superior. Bishops feel a little bit claustrophobic. They are long range pieces. Bishop can look here, but this pawn is in between, this pawn is in between. So Fischer said I don't want to close it, I want to open it. And so you will see how after rook e4, nice move because you can't take the rook, queen d5 is coming, and then white is better. But you will see that after king d8, queen e2, takes, queen d7. Now you have to exchange the queens. This is the sad part. If I could magically just play queen e2 and also save my rook here, play rook e5 or something, I would be very happy with the king in the center. One of the imbalances, king safety. If you can maintain the queens when the opponent's king is unsafe, that's very good. But I can't, as my rook is attacked. So Fischer had to take and rook e5. But you see how much difference it makes when the bishop is completely open. It's not blocked by anything, and it's feeling really fresh, open. Okay. Now here is one key moment in the game, and I hope that someone has analyzed it here. It's here that I think black didn't play so well. So if you were black, what would you play here? Look carefully in this position and try to tell me what should black play. Yeah, Shashank Mokashi says b6. Akshit says, what if we play rook e8 instead of queen e2? Where? In this position? King d8. Here rook e8. Ah, interesting move. Very nice. Maybe take, 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 king c8. And somehow it seems like white didn't get enough. Black king is safe. So it's a good possibility, but I don't think it's really very good. So we come back to this position with rook e5, and everyone says b6. Yeah, a lot of people says b6. But did anyone analyze this game and find out that actually b6 is a mistake in the game? You know, why is it a mistake? First of all, it looks natural to save your pawn. You play b6, nothing can be more natural than that. But when you play the move b6, what did Fischer have in mind? What is the brilliant move? Not brilliant, but very good move that Fischer played in this position. Can anyone tell me what is a nice move that Fischer played here? Abhishek Chauhan says king d6 is better. Rahul Gupta says king d6. Amol Dangche. Ishir Narayan says uh, king d6 is better. Good. But what is the problem with b6? Okay, we'll come back to this line with rookie at check. Let's first focus here. Ravi Kumar, as rightly pointed out, says bishop f1 is the problem here. Very good. Many of you, Prathamesh Divekar, Nimish Lavanya, Reshu Jain, Preet Matre, Kalyan Sundaram, bishop f1. Very good. The point is you attack this pawn, force it to come up, because if you play b5, this is hanging, and once you force it, you go bishop c4, beautiful piece, attacking f7. And this is how Fischer was able to win this game. You know, he had this bishop beautifully placed. And imagine if his opponent Taimanov was alert and had played king d6. He must have been afraid, oh my god, I'm losing a pawn. Bishop takes b7. But no, you are not, because after rook b8, good move. If you move the bishop back, I'm going to pick up this pawn on b2 and then attack both the pawns. And if you take bishop a6, I still take this. And now, although I'm a pawn down, I'm going to recover one of these pawns. So this is the reason why this was a very strong move, and this is equal. You know, Fischer would have not been able to win. And another point being, if bishop f1 trying to come to c4, you play the move b5, and now this pawn is not hanging and this bishop cannot come here. So these small little things can make a huge difference in whether a knight is superior or a bishop. Okay, now we come to an important point in the game where Fischer played this, and now you will see how slowly and steadily he improves his position. King g2, king f3, bring your king is a good piece, always try to activate it. King f3, knight d7. By the way, to all the people who suggested the move in this position, rook b8, well, c5 is hanging, yeah, so you can't really play that. And also after b6, bishop f1, you still can't do this because of bishop c4. So anyway, b6 was definitely a big mistake. King f3, knight d7, now rook e3. One person, I think it was Suman Chakrabarti, who asked in the mail, why not rook e2? Why not rook e1? Well, difficult to say, but I think Fischer kept his option open. At some point, he can go to b3 and attack this pawn. So, but maybe there's not a big difference between these moves. Knight b8, check, king c7, c3, good move, because the knight cannot now jump here. Knight c6, rook e3, king d6, and now comes a very anti-intuitive move, a4. Oops, not knight d4, a4. Now the point is, we have learnt a rule. If you have a bishop, don't try to put the pawn on the same color as the bishop, because then your bishop's activity is kind of reduced and it has to keep defending his pawns. But in this case, these pawns are kind of fixed with just one pawn, okay, and there are always exceptions to the rule. So please try to understand this very carefully, okay, this rule, there are always exceptions, and here a4 is a strong move, and Fischer places his pawn on the same color as the bishop, clearly understanding that yes, it is on the same color, but it restricts three black pawns. Now knight e7, h3, knight c6, h4, h5, and now comes a nice move, check, rook d5, attacking this here, and if g6, I'll just come back and later on play f5, king f4, king g5, try to come in. So he played anyway f5, and then after rook d2, you will see that white was successful in fixing the pawns on the light squares so that the bishop can later go and attack them. And now the last part, where Fischer accurately tries to exchange the rooks and then activate his king. Now you will see, here is the last important point of the game which I want to make, is after king c4, you see the king is coming in, king c6, check, king b7, king b5. And if black could say to white, pass, make a move. So white says, okay, I'll play bishop f7. Black will say pass again. The point is, black has his knight very well placed on e7 defending this, king very well placed defending both these squares. He doesn't really want to make any moves here. But the problem in chess is that you always have to make a move. And this is what knights do not like. Because when knight has to move, it has to give up control of its previous square. For example, knight is controlling this and this square. If it moves here, it no longer controls those squares. Contrary to this, when the bishop is here, it is controlling this and this square. When it goes here to f7, it still controls the g6 square. So bishops can always lose a move but also still have the same threat, while knights cannot. So this puts always a problem, and that's why there is one very important thing, that knights cannot lose a move. Okay, this is very important for you to know. Okay, so knight c8 was played, check, king c7, bd5. Now I'm threatening to enter from here with my king. So he attacks my bishop. I go bishop f7, he comes back and he says to white, well, we are at the same position. How do you break through? So as white, you are thinking, if I go king here, if I go bishop e8 again, he will play knight c8. By the way, I cannot take this pawn because it's a checkmate. So once again, we will come to the same thing. I come here, he comes and attacks. I go here. Well, sort of a merry-go-round, yeah, merry-go-round. But what Fischer did is he wasted one move. Bishop b3, king a7. Now came here and gave a check. And his point is, if now you go king a7, What is happening here? White will do nothing but make a waiting move. Just play bishop g2, and it says to black, you can't come here, you can't go back because your pawn will fall. If you move your knight, my king will enter, and in this way white gets a winning position. It seems like magic. Playing with the bishop is very difficult many times because you have to keep maneuvering, but it's important to learn this. King c7, king a6, knight c8, bd5, and now bishop c4. And you will see that at the right moment now, knight e7, bishop e8, when king d8 was played to make the final breakthrough, Fischer sacrificed his piece, which is a very good one, because he wins three pawns, king c5, and then he starts promoting his pawns. Two pawns here are very strong, and in the worst case, the king can go and pick up the other pawns. Someone wrote to me and asked, why did Taimanov resign in this position? Well, after b6, the problem is if you take knight g3, I go a6, you come back a7, king a8, b7, king into a7, king c7, and this pawn is going to be queened. So this game showed in the true sense the power of a bishop. And please put this in mind, put this game in your head whenever you want to understand the power of bishops. I know we took a lot of time to look at this game. By the way, I should show you the analysis that we did right now. This is the, you can see the notation here. These are the variations that we have seen, and believe me, this was not bad analysis. You can write down whatever I was talking, can be typed down, and I would have a very good analysis. And to all the people who keep asking, hey, um, how to analyze the game, how can I analyze my game, this is how you analyze it. Have curiosity, have questions, and then you dive into it without the fear whether you are going right or wrong. Just do it, and later on if you want to check whether you did it right or wrong, you always have the engine, but do it always after analyzing it. Or you have your coach. See, I started the engine, now I can check through all my analysis whether what I did was right or wrong or whatever it was here. And this is very important to go through. And if you have a good coach or a good friend or who is a strong player, you can send him your analysis and he can tell you whether you have done a good job or not. Chess improvement is little tough, but you know I'm showing you the right path in this way. Okay, now this was all about bishop superiority to the knight. And I think, yeah, there was one variation which we had to look, yeah, which was rook e8 check, and I was saying rook takes, bishop takes. And then I said take, king c8, and then all of you said queen is very strong, queen f5. Yeah, looks good. I'm still not sure because rook e6 could be a possibility here. But yes, queen f5, I don't really want that you can enter with rook d7 here. So maybe I have something else which I can do, which is I can go king c8 here and keep this bishop versus knight position. It's a possibility. I think white would be slightly better. But yeah, again, this is something worth analyzing. Okay. Now, one thing is keep in mind, and this you will learn only through a lot of work, that your games are no less important than grandmaster games. If you can learn how to analyze them, if you don't feel, oh, my games are not so good and all of that, then you can really improve. And one of the books which I recommend for this is The Road to Chess Improvement by Alex Yermolinsky, in which Alexander Yermolinsky says how he analyzed his games to become better player. Now, today I had a lot of positions for you. So let me see how many I can get through, because we did analyze this for quite some time. But okay, let me first just have one more position here to show you, to share with you a small story, and also, okay, let me see, first save it. Um, okay, so yeah, if you can have a look at this right now. This was my game against Vladimir Belov. Okay, he's a 2600 GM. I was black, and it was my first win against a 2600 player. And I want to show you a position here where I was black, and I want you to kind of analyze it. Okay, looking at, and what would you play here as black? Okay, black to move. By the way, all those who are asking me, which piece is better, bishop or knight, well, we have right now spoken excellent things about bishop, but we will come to uh, knights as well. I like knights. Okay, the book name which I just said was Road to Chess Improvement by Alex Yermolinsky. Okay. A big thanks to Roberto Yerperli, who has contributed $10. Roberto, thank you so much. Please let us know from where you are. Dandapani Kuppaswamy has also contributed 100 rupees. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. So, here it is black to move, and Mohak says b5. Okay, interesting. Anil Nepune says b5, and Shashank Kapoor says rotate the board. Okay, Shashank, were you not there at yesterday's class? The point which I had made, that yes, you want to rotate the board every time that black is to move, I also liked that. But the thing is that if I rotate the position, you can think is a bad thing, because it means that when you're thinking on your game, you're not thinking for your opponent. So here, don't ask me to rotate the board. Try to think for black. Come on. B5 is a good move, says many people. But your idea is to put your knight here. But I'm not very happy because this bishop becomes quite bad. So I want you to learn and apply what you have just learned. So when you learn something, it's very important to apply it in your games. And I think I have found one person who's given the right answer, Adit Bhatia. Hema Logu. Good job, Hema. These two people have got it right. By the way, all the people who are writing here stuff like, can you do Mikhail Tal game? Or can you make me a chess master? Or things like, you know let's not get into such stuff. Yeah, we are trying to improve at chess, and if you find this not interesting, then yeah, maybe you can go and check Mikhail Tal's games. But come on, focus here. Mikhail Tal games, we can look at it at some point. More important is to learn what is being offered. Tharun M has got it right. Amol Dangche, Shilpi Banerjee, excellent. Dandapani Kuppuswamy has also got it right. Fantastic. Sutapa Das, Kunal Singh has got it right. Shashank Mokashi, well done. Abhishek. So we have learned that when you have a bad bishop, which right now white's bad bishop is here, black's sort of bad bishop is here, you can either exchange it. Can you exchange this bishop for something? Let's say the bishop or the knight. I don't think so. Second is change the structure, change the color of the pawns. Can I change it like this? This might be changing, but Well, this looks really bad because after take, bishop takes, queen takes, I at the very least lose a pawn. I can't do that. The last thing which I suggested was move the bishop out of the pawn chain. And that's why I played the move bishop a6. Very good to all those who found this answer. Excellent work. The point is you want to put your bishop on b5 where it will be a monster. It will be a very strong piece. It defends c6. It's active, and it helped me to actually win this game. I'm not going to discuss this game in detail. You can have a look at it. It is Vladimir Bello versus Sagar Shah. And this was, I think he blundered at this point somewhere where he played BD2, which was a mistake. I won a piece and later on won the game. But yeah, bishop a6 is much stronger than b5 in this position. b5 is a possibility to get the knight here, but bishop a6 is just more superior. Okay, good. So now let's go to one more question. Okay, we've spoken a lot about bishops. Let's start a bit about a knight. Okay, and when I talk about knights, let's see the first one here, and we will learn some few things about the knights actually. What happened? Maybe I just closed the board. Um, okay, let me get it from here. This board, yeah. So no, I don't want you to see this. Training, yeah. Yeah, my main plan was that I wanted you to think about these positions. So let me just get the board. Sorry for the small technical difficulty. Yeah, okay. Maybe this is better Stolz. Yeah, I think this should work now. Yes, black to move. What would you play here? Black to move. Okay, some people are asking me how to show the moves arrows. Well, if you are using chess base, if you use a alt plus move your mouse, it's a green arrow. If you use shift plus alt, it will be a red arrow. If you use control plus alt, it will be a yellow arrow. So these are the three colors. Okay. Now here the point is, how do you make your knight into a better piece? Sumed, Shivam, Rajesh, Niranjan, everyone got it right. Fantastic. Kunal, Vinod Kumar, Amit, Setu. Uh, no, not Setu. Yeah, you said knight h5. But the better move here, not knight h5, but knight e8. The knight is going to sit here. And yesterday, if you remember a position which we were looking at where the queen was coming to e5, I had mentioned queen is a bad blockader of passed pawns or a pawn, but a knight is one of the best blockaders. Let me tell you why. So let's for example say you go king f2 and now knight d6. This knight actually is blocking this pawn for sure, but it is also attacking c4 and e4. So a knight, when it blockades something, it doesn't lose its power. Okay, so let me just give you another example. Okay, for example, I put a bishop here instead of a knight. Okay, like this. Suppose I do this. Now you will see the bishop is blocking this pawn, but it is blocked by its own pawns and it loses its power. It's not a good blockader. Okay, but Let's replace it with the knight again, and you will see that a knight is a great blockader of a passed pawn. Okay, if you can learn this, you will realize when knights are better than bishops. When there is a passed pawn, if you can blockade it with your knight, it becomes really good. Okay, it's a basic rule, but very useful. Okay, now I'm going to ask you one more question. By the way, all those who said 98, well done. It was excellent. This was a good job by all of you. Okay, now let me get another position here, and please tell me, is white better or black in this position? Who is better in this position? Is white better or is black better? Krishna Kumar Bagel says, I lost my sleep because of you. Okay, I'll take it as a compliment. Who's better? White, white, white. Everyone's white. Is there anyone who thinks black? Okay, whom to move? Let's say white to move. Jaideep Chakrabarti, who has been contributing regularly, has contributed 200 rupees today. Jaideep, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I think there hasn't been a single day where you haven't contributed. So thank you. I don't see any blacks here, and anyone who writes black is definitely just making fun, because here the knight is just so much superior. Why? Because the play is only on one side of the board. Okay, and when things are only on one side of the board, you can see the pawns are only here in this part of the board, then the knight becomes like a boss. Knight says, hey, I can jump everywhere, I can do a lot of things. So the knight is a powerful creature in this when the play is only on one side. Bishop says, hey, I can move really long diagonals, but what's the point? There are no pawns on this side of the board. There's nothing. So that's the sad part. When you have a bishop versus knight, play on one side means it is definitely better. And now the question is, how should white win this position? Well, white should try and get this position here with black to move. So black bishop cannot move because it's kind of stuck to this pawn. So the king has to move, and once the king moves, you either give me this square or this square, and I enter in and I win this game. I'm not going to go into this, but I think you understood when the play is only on one side of the board, knights dominate the bishop. Okay, so now my next question, and it gets a little tricky now, is what if we reach this position? Let me just say which one, and you will understand. Yeah, let me put it up for you on the board here. This one. White has just taken back a into b3. Who do you think is better and why? Pankaj Panchal says you're a knight guy or a bishop guy. Well, I think I'm a night person, although in real life I'm a morning person. But in on the board, I really like knights, and I'll show you in tomorrow's class how I have used knights really well in the past. And well, in a way, what Capablanca said is every amateur understands the power of a knight. because knights can jump on both colors. F5, from F5 it goes to a dark square, D6, then a light square, then C5. It covers all sorts of squares. But the bishop only covers the light squares here, or if it's a dark squared bishop, it can cover only dark squares. And this is why taking care of a bishop is much more difficult than taking care of a knight. Okay, and the much better player you become, the much better you become with the bishops. Although I must say Vishy Anand really likes his knights, but that doesn't mean he doesn't play well with the bishops. Okay, lot of answers. Let me see if there is someone whose answer I can pick up here. I'm sorry I can't take all the answers, you can understand, because there are so many. Jaideep Chakrabarti says black because pawns are on both sides of the board. You see, there are pawn here and there are pawns here. There's pawn here and there are pawns here. Okay, that is his. Harsh Jani says knight is dominating the bishop. But Harsh, you can also imagine that the knight can't come here, knight can't come here. So maybe this bishop is dominating the knight also. You know, it goes both ways. Anand Sivaraman says it's a draw with correct play. Okay. Black is better because game opened and bishop is good in open games. Interesting, says Mukul Raj. Vinay Kulkarni, black is better because white's knight cannot come forward as the bishop has controlled key squares. Interesting. Aditya Ramanathan says it's an open position, the bishop is free, the pawns are on both sides, thus black is better. Okay, very nice. Knight is central squares, restricts black's activities, says Sai Srivardhan Ram. So, Sai, I assume you say white is better. All the people here, you understand that now these imbalances, as you understand it, bishop versus knight, sometimes are not even easy to understand, even though you understand it's an imbalance in the position. But the rule which can come to your help is that this, what exactly Jaideep Chakrabarti and Aditya Ramanathan and maybe a few others also have mentioned here, which is if there are pawns on both sides of the board, then bishop becomes a superior piece. And here there is a big advantage which I don't think anyone has thought about, because the last move, as I had mentioned, was ab3. It's black to move, and because it's black to move, he immediately brings his king in, and both sides bring their king in. But the difference is black king gets a dominating position as compared to the white king. He's on the fourth rank of his own, while white king is on the third rank. So that's again a small edge. Now my homework to all of you is play this position with white or black with an engine. Okay. Now how can you play it? So first thing is, if you have engine at home, Fritz 17, Komodo or anything, play it. If you have a friend, you can play with him online. Or what you can do is, this is what we have in chessbase account. So if you go to account.chessbase.com and you are a chessbase account member, even if you are not, become one. Either you become a premium member by paying some amount, which you can do through chessbase india, or you become a free member for at least 3 months. And then there is this Fritz online. You click here on Fritz online, which is nothing but playing against an engine. And once you click on it, this board will open and you can say set up position. And once you set up the position, you can say clear. I think the pawn was also on h3 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, h3, knight d4, bishop d7, pawns on a7, king g8, king f8, and you say black's move. Okay, and you want to say take black, so you play king f8 and you play against the engine. You can make the level here, you can say beginner, amateur or grandmaster. I think if you choose beginner, you will beat him easily. Here, as you can see, My king is just too fast. And now I attack the pawn and I can win it. And okay, black is winning here. But of course, if you take grandmaster level, then it will defend much better, and you go king f8, and then it will think more and it will play against you. Try to play this position out. Until you don't play it, you won't get better. So there is this saying which I always remember, which is, I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, and I understand. So when you play, you will actually understand whether the bishop is good or the knight, okay, in such positions, and it is a good thing to remember here. I have a feeling that the bishop is slightly better here. With accurate play, it could be a draw, but black can beat his opponent as it happened in this game. This is actually a real game between Stoltz and Kastan, and black was able to win here. Okay, so I think we've had plenty of things to do today. I'm going to actually, I've prepared some notes for you, which if you can look at here, would be nice. So the notes which I've mentioned is like this. Okay, let me first get it all on the screen. Yeah. If you have a bad bishop, you can do three things: exchange it, change the structure, bring it outside the pawn chain. Okay, this is what are the three things you can do. Second, if your opponent has double bishop, try to exchange one of them. This we already learnt yesterday. If you have the bishop pair, preserve them and part with them at the right moment. Okay. Now, knights prefer closed positions, as we already know. Bishops love open positions. Knights like pawns only on one side of the board, sixth point. Bishop likes pawns on both sides of the board, and knights are good blockaders. I hope that you have been able to understand these points so that you understand what is the difference between a bishop and a knight. We are learning one of the biggest imbalance in chess, and I'm spending quite a bit of time because other imbalances are not as complex as this one. You can win or lose games based on this imbalance alone. Okay, now I want to just come back and uh, show you that the work which you have sent me is being looked at. For example, let me just say, this is now last 5 minutes that I think the class is going on for a long time today, but I want to cover a few things. So first of all, yesterday, if you all remember, I showed you a game between me and Salil Rabade. Where is it? Yeah, this one. And we had reached this position where I had told you, should I keep my bishop or should I exchange it? Okay. And Dhyan Sandeep Nayak wrote to me. I had said bishop e3 is a good move here, you should save your bishop. He thought about this position much more, and he said, why can't I take? And I'm very very happy that he came up with this doubt. When you have questions, it's the best feeling, good questions. Because after bishop f6, he said I can go b4, and this knight have to go back to e6. Yes, kind of forced. I would say even knight a4 is one possibility. We can't really say that's not possible. But knight e6, and then Dhyan gave this variation: rook d7, rook e7, take, take, bishop e6, f e6, c5, and he said white should win this endgame, and I think I agree with him. But what is it that Dhyan actually missed in this position? After rook d7, he said that black has to play rook e7. Okay, but I think black has a very powerful move. Can anyone find what is black's best move here? what is black's best move here? The point is, if rook e7, I will take bishop e7, bishop e6, and not so great. But black has an intermediate move. All those who followed my analysis with it would know that in any given position there are always intermediate moves. Very well done. All those who said knight g5, Sairam, Sutapa, Sut Arnav, Mohini Bhave, knight g5, brilliant move. You make an intermediate move, and then when black goes back, you play rook e7, and you are able to defend. But a good question by Dhyan. I'm very happy that you asked me this question. Okay. By the way, all of this, what I'm working on, is on chess base, and I seriously recommend all of you. This is not like an ad or something. What I feel is I've been working with chess base for years now, okay, and without it, I feel that serious work is not possible. This is also the reason why we went to Germany and told them to reduce the prices for Indians, so that a €100 DVD of chess base is now available for 3,700. So if you go here and you sorry, if you go to chessbase.in and open the online shop here, you will see that there are several. You just type chessbase 15 and you can get from here. So there are several different packs. There is chessbase 15 plus mega database, chessbase 15, there is fritz plus chessbase 15. You can go and have a look at this, because I think it's very important to have it. uh, Lastly, chessbase account also, you can get it from here, so try to have a look at this. And one thing which I received a mail from one lad who said, sir, I don't have money right now. I know chessbase is very important, but I can't afford it. My only suggestion is that if you want to improve at chess, sometimes you have to invest something in it, and whenever you get the money, try to invest in chessbase. Because all those who are using pirated softwares, I don't think that's a good idea. It's just in a way stealing, cheating, because you are using someone else's hard work and using those softwares. So my suggestion is to get original software, use it well, improve it, improve your game, go to tournaments, win prize money, and you will recover it. So I will end it at that, and I want to thank Ramteke Sumed, who did this analysis here. Well done, Ramteke Sumed. You have done a good job. I've also Rick Gupta, who's done a bit of analysis here. He also sent me another game of Fisher and Spassky, which we may look at some point. Amaya Kanitkar has sent one of his favorite games here. Well, we didn't have time to look at it today. Hopefully, we can do it later. There's also a game by Setu, who sent his favorite game, and Suman, who has done a lot of analysis. But Suman, I would really like that when you analyze a lot of openings, after the opening, your analysis is very less in the second half of the game. So try to increase that as well. Don't just focus on one part. And finally, before we leave, I want to show you, um, yeah, this position. This was given to me by Shatnik, who writes for Chessbase India, who's an editor for Chessbase India, and is a wonderful solver, problem solver. And he told me, can you give this position to all your viewers in the class? And I said to him, this looks very tough for the viewers. And he said, no, you should give it. But I feel this is not easy. You see, this is all white pawns are going this way. Yeah, don't think they are coming this way. They are going that way. So your task is to find white to move and draw. Okay, because everything is kind of packed up. So first move can only be two moves, either this move here, bishop 8, or rook 8. So try to think, how can white draw? Because black's plan is simple. He's going to push his pawn. Oh, sorry, which side? Sorry, this side. He's, he's going to push his pawn this way and just mate white's king. But also, it's a lot to do with the situation right now, which is of self isolation or quarantine, where all the pieces are in their home. So Shatnik has given this position, and you can take a picture of it and try to solve white to play and draw. And if you find the answer, write to me at chessbaseindia@gmail.com. I think all those who have any questions, please do so. I'm very happy that all of you are sending in your stuff. And what is today's homework? Okay, today's homework, very tough homework. I've taught you how to analyze your game. So all of you are going to take one game of yours. Yeah, your, not Mikhail Tal, not Botvinnik, not Kasparov, not Anand, no one. Your own game. You're going to take it and you're going to analyze it very carefully, okay, like we do in the class, by being inquisitive, by not fearing whether you are right or wrong, by not worrying whether your variations are right or wrong. Analyze it and then you will send it to me at chessbaseindia at gmail. I want to know how many of you can actually muster up the courage to look at your own games. It could be a loss, it could be a win, anything, but do it today, okay? All right, so this is the homework. Um, and if there are any questions, please let me know in the email. Sakti Kiran says, until you analyze, you won't realize. By Vidit. Yes, you are right. Good that you are watching this. Harsh Jani says, what is it? Are there any? Uday Paideti says, have you played against 2700 player? If yes, I want to see your game. I think I haven't played against 2700. The highest I played was 2693, then 2691. Many 2680 plus players, but never played 2700. I played Vishy Anand in Simul, if that counts. Uh, Anjanya Kakar says, can we send it to you without using Chessbase 15? Well, I want it in PGN format, so you can use some software which is available out there, which may be free as well. But try to see from where you can get it. Satwik says, thank you and bye. Thanks a lot, Satwik, for attending. Arun Dikshit says, could we analyze Fisher Sadi endgame for next time? Arun, yes, we'll try to do that. Rajat Sharma says, I'm watching from J&K in 2G. Great work, sir. Thanks, Rajat, for watching it. Um, Mohak Agarwala says, how does one use mega database to its full potential? Well, Mohak, maybe today I'll make a video on that and put it on our YouTube channel so you can have a look at it. Uh, who else? Is there anyone else? Any more question? Yeah, by the way, here it's white to move, yeah? Okay, so thanks everyone. Funny Verma has been mentioning it right from the start that Chessbase India is doing a phenomenal job, like Russian Chess Federation to Russian chess. Thank you. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a good job, and we still have 17 more days. I hope you're finding this useful. It might seem right now that hey, we are putting a lot of time in imbalances between bishop and knight, but these are the building blocks. If you make it strong, you will soon be see that after 5 6 days you'll be able to do it better. And I already am receiving mails of people who say, I see an improvement in my thinking process. So that's good to know. Okay, so thank you all and see you soon. Bye.